So, can you help us just differentiate between fatigue exhaustion versus burnout? And I think you personally also experienced that during your professional and early professional journey. And that led you to this space where you're at right now. So, could you elaborate on that, the burnout aspect of what it is and how can one identify it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, burnout actually has a definition according to the World Health Organization. And there's also pretty well documented mental, emotional, physical symptoms that tend to be fairly universal for most people. They can have a different flavor of it. And so, burnout, it turns out, is actually recurrent and relapsing. So, yes, I burned out, during my early time, and it was a really terrible burnout. And then I built a business that burned me out too because I was familiar with that. And so it can be a very familiar cycle. And I tend to see it in my clients as well, is that we can, create a business that actually burns us out. And it's not necessarily like a terrible, awful failure. It's just that we are multi-passionate, really talented, driven human beings, right? The very things that get us those accomplishments and successes when it tips over the edge is burnout. And so we don't want to vilify it, just like we're not vilifying anything. But burnout can present as, yes, of course, exhaustion, right? That is one of the most common things that we see. And if you think about it, if you have burned through all of your energy, you're also burned through your creative capacity. That's one of the more kind of common things that we'll see. It becomes very simplistic, all or nothing thinking, and really highly intellectual individuals, to where, like, not uncommonly, like, let's take, for example, the entrepreneurs, sort of when an entrepreneur burns out, and I'm talking to them, they're like, "I'm gonna sell this whole thing. I can't take it. I just wanna, like, run away from everything," right? And so and that is the lack of the creative thinking, not because they don't have that capacity, it's because they don't have that capacity right now. They are fully burned out. They're completely out of all their reserves. And so we can have caregiver burnout. That tends to happen a lot if we're taking care of aging parents or young kids or even a partner who might be ill for a long period of time. We can burn out that way. We can burn out just in general, aside from work and caretaking. We can burn out from, like, making so many decisions every single day. And, that we can have decision fatigue as well.